It's my great pleasure to be here. Thanks so much. I'm gonna just do this because God only made me 5'3½", and so everything has to come down this way. I'm really grateful to be here in North Carolina. I want to tell you just a little bit about this piece titled Interruptions. It's very, very literal. So the intention is that you kind of get a certain expectation as to what's going to happen, and then we're going to interrupt you. And you'll hear a little bit more, and then the composer will do something clever. A very, very clever composer, Stephen Bryant, who's one of those folks who can write not only for wind ensembles and professional groups, but is thoughtful about how to write really clever music for young bands. So this is Stephen Bryant's Interruptions. Hold on, because just when you think you know what's happening, you don't. All kinds of surprises in that piece. So it starts all of a sudden with just, you start a little idea, and then all of a sudden there's a rest somewhere, and then all of a sudden there's a change in meter, and then all of a sudden, these loud interruptions. So it's definitely a little bit of a startling piece, but it's cool that they get to experience a piece written by a composer that is so prolific across the grade levels of difficulty. I want to introduce just a little bit about the next piece. As Mr. Sisler said, I run the New Horizons program at the University of South Carolina. A lot of universities and communities have New Horizons programs. And that is an opportunity for folks, maybe you played in high school and you didn't have a community band, or maybe you've never played an instrument in high school and you always wanted to. And the theory is, once you're retired, you have more time. And there are many members of the program who aren't retired who still play. It's an opportunity to have a community ensemble and to be a true beginner and be in a very supportive and safe environment. We didn't play in person, obviously, for a year, as many of your students probably did as well. We did a lot of online playing and such. And when we came back together this semester, this fall, and started having in-person rehearsals and concerts again, and we just recently were able to remove masks and such, I was really struck by the idea of why people like being in ensembles, whether it's a band or a choir or an orchestra, rock band, whatever it is, why people like to come together and make music. I don't know that people like to do it as much by themselves, they like to do it with others. And I kept thinking about what was so poignant about that. And it struck me when I was looking for music for the ensemble. I kept thinking about, we had just lost a very significant composer, the famous musical theater writer, Stephen Sondheim, who wrote so many great beloved musicals, including Into the Woods, that I'm going to talk about here for a second. And I kept thinking about this whole being together and wanting to make music together and being so grateful that we could then do it. And I thought a lot about the text from the very famous song from Into the Woods, No One Is Alone. And I just want to share a little bit of lyrics with you. Clearly not all of them. But I'm struck by these words. It's set in the woods. Cinderella, The Baker, Jack and the Beanstalk. It's a really, really cool musical. But this line in particular. Sometimes people leave you halfway through the wood. Others may deceive you. You decide what's good. You decide alone, but no one is alone. And I kept thinking about how valuable some of those lines are, and that whole sentiment of how valuable ensembles are, and being together and making music, and the idea of doing that together. And it's one of the great things that we keep finding across all the research literature about. Part of the reason we like doing that is because when you work on a task together and you have to do it precisely at the same time, we have evidence, in neuroscience, it even shows it promotes empathy, it promotes more good, it promotes social bonding. I'm quite convinced that the world would be a better place if more people made music together. There'd be more empathy, more peace, more good, more just love, more benefit to the world. So, we're going to celebrate the spirit of ensemble, the idea that no one is alone, for you right now. too much. There's really beautiful performances of that. I would recommend if you go looking on Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube, I recommend Bernadette Peters. Some of her performances of that are just lovely. Before we play our last piece, I just want to tell all the parents and directors and such, I've done a lot of honor bands. I've worked with a lot of kids over the years that I've been involved in being a music educator. And there are times that you have to get on to kids and ask them to stop talking, insist that they stop talking and misbehaving. I never had to do that. That's a testament to you. That's a testament to them. And I said that to them, and I don't say this at every concert. They're wonderful humans. They're wonderful children. So you should applaud yourself because you are raising wonderful people on this stage. So congratulations for that, and thank you for that. They're certainly a testament to you, this community, their directors. And I just want to say a couple things. There's a ton of research. I'm definitely somebody who does a lot of that. There's a lot of research that obviously talks about the benefits of music making and how great that is, and the bonding and the pro-social behavior and the empathy that it all propagates. The other thing that's really great about what your students are doing is we have all kinds of evidence that suggests that they fundamentally hear sound differently than other people, that they are essentially better listeners. Yes, that means when you told them to clean their room, take out the trash, they were supposed to be able to hear you better than other people who don't necessarily sit in band and practice. But it's one of these really awesome things that we benefit from, and all this hard work and kids sitting and listening to what they're doing and making sense of that and hearing what other people are doing and making sense of that. It's a really fantastic life skill, this ability to make really important judgments related to sound and notice nuances in sound, and it's one of the most important neurological side benefits that we keep finding. So I just want to celebrate the kids, celebrate your good work. I said to them today, everybody on this stage, I would be thrilled if they ended up being the President of the United States, a Supreme Court Justice, the teachers of people I love more than my own life. You've raised wonderful people. And we're going to close this concert with a piece by Carol Britton Chambers entitled Byzantine Dances. And I think you'll enjoy how excited they are at the end. Thank you.